Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so glad that you are here. And I have got today, we are kicking off a brand new series that I'm thrilled to bring to you. And first and foremost, we're going to be talking about empowered weight loss. What does that mean? What does it look like? And why does this matter? And so, right now, there is so much happening in our world that has women feeling, not all of the time, but in many areas, powerless, whether that be socially, in our own homes, politically, with our bodies. And so this series is about reclaiming power where we can. And one place that we absolutely deserve to feel powerful is in our relationship with our bodies. And that also includes your relationship with food. And so I'm going to say that one more time. This series is about reclaiming power where we can. And one place where we absolutely deserve to feel powerful is in your relationship with your own body and, of course, including your relationship with food. And so right off the get-go, let me tell you, this is not your typical weight loss episode. We're kicking off this brand new series where I am breaking down the words on my new podcast cover. I briefly mentioned this a few episodes ago, and I said, hey, I updated the podcast cover. We've got some new language. We've got some new words on the podcast cover. And if you hadn't noticed, go take a peek, because every single one of those words, every single word that I added that is now on the cover of the podcast means something real, something powerful, something essential, something revolutionary for your own journey. Where we're starting today is talking about empowered weight loss. And what does that mean? What does it mean? What does it look like? And why does it matter? And just to do a quick recap, I'll briefly mention here all the others so you can know what else is coming. But we've got empowered weight loss. We've got feminist weight loss. We've got decolonized weight loss. What does that mean? What does that look like? And why does that matter? We've got anti-racist weight loss, and we have holistic weight loss. And when you look at your own transformation and your journey, especially if it has felt like something that has felt like such a stuck point, so emotional, so frustrating, so disappointing, maybe even soul-sucking and exhausting, when we look at creating change and approaching things in a different way, because the old way clearly isn't working. And I will tell you, the old way was not made for us. It was not made for us. And so when we look at it through these different lenses, then your weight loss can actually be healing and be something where you can experience actual freedom, because we're addressing the elements that create so much stuckness and emotional suffering for women. And so that's a quick rundown of all the different essential aspects that we're going to be walking through together in each of these episodes. But today we are starting with empowered weight loss, because that is the heartbeat of all of it. And so what does this mean? What does empowered weight loss even mean? Because it might sound good, and it is. It is. But let's break down, what does this actually mean? Empowered weight loss means that you are not losing weight from shame, from fear, or from that not enoughness. Empowered weight loss means that you decide what you want for your body, and there's no more chasing validation, approval, or worthiness through weight or through weight loss. Empowered weight loss is about agency, sovereignty. We could call this self-leadership, meaning I make the decisions when it comes to my body, my life, my goals. It's about self-honoring, and it is about you feeling powerful in your decision-making and powerful in your self-care and what you want for yourself and in your goals, specifically in this area of your life, not punishing. That is what empowered weight loss means. And now I'm going to say it even more specific. Are you ready? Empowered weight loss means that we are no longer outsourcing our worth to systems that have actually oppressed us as women, including white supremacy, fat phobia, patriarchy, or colonized ideas of wellness that have had women for generations approaching their decision making from this place of obeying versus decision making, from a place of how do I stay in line here? How do I do this the way that I quote unquote am supposed to, even if it actually doesn't feel right for me or it doesn't work for me? Or from this place of like, I can't trust myself. So I need someone else to direct me, to tell me what are the decisions that are best for me. And let me make a quick note here because I think this is super important. This is not to say that there can't be expertise and research and all of these things that are informing. Hey, don't get me wrong. That is not what I'm saying here. There is a space for all of that research, literature, expertise, knowledge, but without outsourcing your authority, your wisdom, you as being capable and intelligent. And when we as women feel powerful, feel capable to decide what is best for you, what feels good to you, to your body, what you want, what goals feel right for you, and no longer outsourcing neither your authority or your worth, oh my God, then all of this that has felt like such a struggle completely changes. I won't even say it's a game changer because then we're not even playing the old game. Okay, so that's what it means. Now I want to talk about what does it look like? And I want to give you some real tangible examples. Empowered weight loss looks like saying and believing, I'm choosing this goal because it matters for me. And really there be no shame or judgment around that. Empowered weight loss looks like and sounds like I am done outsourcing my authority to diet rules and to diet rules that I already know don't feel good for me, don't work for my body, et cetera, et cetera. It also looks like and feels like I want to feel at home in my body, not because society or people say I should, but because I am worthy and deserving of feeling that good. And that is what I want for myself. I have just gone through and really just painted a few examples of what does empowered weight loss look like, sound like, feel like. And so now let me give you a little bit of the contrast. What it doesn't look like, feel like, sound like is chasing some place where I'll finally feel enough. It doesn't look like, feel like, sound like restriction. It doesn't look like, feel like, sound like burnout or ignoring yourself, your wisdom, your own knowing. It doesn't look like, sound like, feel like feeling not enough, inadequate, or putting your life on hold or certain things until I quote unquote lose a certain amount of weight. And so instead, it looks like, sounds like, feels like power, agency, joy, love, understanding, compassion, choice. Ooh, I'm going to say that last one again because that right there is one word that I think really captures so much of this is choice. And of course, we cannot forget so much love, tons of self-love, love for yourself, caring, loving for your body, for your goals, addressing your needs, your desires. That is what it looks like, feels like, sounds like instead. It doesn't feel like food guilt. It doesn't feel like not being able to enjoy a special moment in your life because you're in your head worrying about what you're going to eat or not eat, or feeling like you can't trust yourself, like you need someone to tell you because you really cannot be trusted. Instead, it feels like, I said, but I'm going to say it again, agency, joy, understanding, compassion, nurturing, power, love, and choice. So now we've unpacked what does empowered weight loss mean. We've gone through in detail what does it look like and also what it doesn't look like, feel like, sound like. Now let's talk about why does this matter? Because you may have found my podcast, and especially if you're a newer listener of the podcast, maybe you were just like, I really just want to lose these 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. And I'm over here talking about agency and choice and power. And I do want to connect the dots for why does this matter? If your goal is, yes, there are certain results you want to create, but you also want to be able to be done struggling with weight and food. And that's that mental, emotional struggle that so many women have felt so stuck in for ages, for years, for decades. I really want to connect so clearly. Why does this matter? Why does it matter if that is your goal? Not only, yes, results, but also I want to change how this area of my life feels, how I experience this area of my life, how I take care of myself in this area of my life, how I make decisions in this area of my life. Then we need to address how your weight loss is being approached. Okay, this is why this matters. And so I'm going to make that connection and make sure that it feels super clear. Here's the first point that I want to make. When women make weight loss decisions from disempowerment, this is how we stay stuck in loops. I'm going to say that one more time because it's so important. When women make weight loss decisions from disempowerment, this is how we stay stuck in loops. And this was absolutely the case for me for a couple of decades. And so trust me, if this is really resonating, I get it. I've been there. I completely understand. I can remember what it felt like to make decisions in this area of my life from disempowerment and to really just feel so not powerful, so completely stuck, and so completely like I couldn't trust myself. And when I made this shift to where I actually felt empowered and was empowered in this area of my life instead, everything changed. Everything changed. And it changed in a way that's been lasting. And I've also witnessed this dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. So I've experienced it both personally myself, and also I've had the honor of witnessing so many of my amazing clients experience this shift in their own life, shifting from disempowerment and feeling so completely stuck in loops and loops and loops of sabotage, of emotional eating, and all of that, just stuck in loops, feeling so disempowered, and then shifting and feeling powerful and getting unstuck, and then just being able to move forward towards the changes and results and transformation that she actually wants in her life. And so I'll make a couple of statements here. Diet culture disempowers. Diet culture disempowers. Empowered weight loss, the way that we are now talking about it, and the way we're shifting the approach, liberates. So I'll say that one more time. Diet culture disempowers. And I don't even have to say it this many times, although I think it is going to be really valuable to hear it just stated so clearly and also laid out in this way so clearly. I don't even have to say it that many times because you know it, because you've felt it. You have felt the disempowerment and the stuckness that comes from diet culture. So many of us, dare I say most of us as women, have felt this disempowerment and felt so stuck in it and so frustrated in it and so disappointed and so disheartened by it. Whereas empowered weight loss liberates, and it frees you to experience new and different things, results, and to have this area of your life also feel different, and liberates in the sense that then you are free from that weight struggle. So empowered weight loss liberates. And so this matters because if what you want is to stop struggling with weight and food for good, then you've got to reclaim this power. Then you've got to shift from the disempowerment of diet culture, of chasing worthiness, of restriction, of ignoring our body when it's exhausted. And I could go on and on describing all the ways that disempowerment creates stuckness. But this shift from disempowerment is absolutely, it's essential. And it's going to be at the heart of creating change in a way that's lasting and also that feels different. One that actually allows you freedom from that ongoing struggle, battle with your own body, with weight and food. And so I've connected the dots. Empowered weight loss matters because if you want to stop struggling with weight and food, then you've got to reclaim that power and that shift from disempowerment to empowerment. And to have your approach be one that is empowered changes everything. Like I said earlier, I won't even call it a game changer because then we're not even playing the game. And so empowered weight loss isn't just about the pounds. The weight loss is a byproduct of the shift Empowered weight loss is about liberation from everything that made you feel like you weren't enough, from everything that made you feel like your body ever needed fixing, from everything that had you believing that there's no time to take care of yourself or what you actually need. These are just a few examples, because check this out. As long as we as women are trying to shrink ourselves to be loved, accepted, then we're still playing the old game. And we've played that old game long enough. The old game of shrinking yourself to be loved, to feel enough, to feel accepted, et cetera, et cetera. When that's the approach, still playing by the old game. You've played that old game. If what I'm sharing with you resonates today, and the content that I share resonates, and my teachings resonate, you've likely been playing the old game by quote unquote their rules for a while, maybe a year, maybe a couple of decades. And look, I'm over here raising my hand. For me, it was a couple of decades. So like I said earlier, I get it. As long as we're trying to shrink ourselves to be loved, to be accepted, to feel enough, that's the old game. The old game sucks, right? You already know that. It creates stuckness. The old game has not been it. We've given it way more than a fair chance. Empowered weight loss is about breaking out of the old game. We're no longer playing that old game. We're no longer playing by those old rules. It never worked. We already gave it way more than a fair chance. We're breaking that contract. We're breaking anything that was part of the old game that never worked in order to finally break free. I want you to literally imagine something that's looping, like a loop, right? The stuck loops. Like I said earlier, when women make weight loss decisions from disempowerment, this is what creates, they stay stuck in loops. So I want you to imagine right now, I'm going to invite you to imagine loops, just stuck in a loop. I want you to imagine what can happen when you step outside of that loop and you break free. Guess what? You can move forward. You can move wherever direction that you want. You really get to feel your power. If you've really stepped outside of that loop, you get to feel your power of like, ooh, where do I want to go? Okay, let's go there. That is that visual that I'm sharing with you right now of what is possible when you break free, no longer making decisions from disempowerment that create these stuck loops. You now have stepped outside of that to finally break free. And then you get to decide, okay, what is it? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What do I want my goal to be? How do I want to take care of myself? Once you are no longer stuck in those loops, you are free to move forward in the direction that you desire. And that right there is life-changing. And so this is your invitation, this episode, as I'm unpacking what does empowered weight loss mean? This is your invitation to start seeing your weight loss journey through a different lens. This is a different lens to see your weight loss journey through this lens of empowerment. Ooh, what would this be like if I'm doing this in a way where I feel powerful, where I see myself as powerful? It's your invitation to start seeing your weight loss journey through a different lens, the lens of empowerment. And it's also let it be your permission slip if you felt you needed one, but of course you don't, right? To take your power completely back, every single little ounce of it in this area of your life. And I promise you, you have plenty of power here. There is so much power here. There may be things in the world, that are not up to us. For example, if it's going to rain or not today, not up to me. But guess what? How your relationship with your body, how this area of your life feels for you, there is a lot of power that you have here, so much. But for most of us, there's just been too much BS getting in the way to feel our own power. For most of us, there's just been too much of the old game, diet culture, etc., getting in the way to feel our own power and to feel powerful. And so now you get to do this differently. Now you get to approach this from the lens of knowing you are powerful. And instead of approaching weight loss from this fixing energy, like I'm trying to fix my body or fix myself because I'm flawed or my body is not enough the way it is, instead of trying to create change or, for example, change habits, old habits from this approach of fixing something that's broken. Instead, you get to approach from, I am so powerful and here's what I want to create. Instead, you get to approach your goal, your vision, the changes that you desire, not from fixing energy or lens, but from this lens of feeling powerful and what do I want to create? And so one question you can ask yourself, I love to offer prompts, journaling prompts. One thing you can ask yourself is this: is how I'm approaching my weight loss empowering me or disempowering me? I'll say it one more time. Is how I'm approaching this, my weight loss, empowering me or disempowering me? That is such a powerful question. And I'll add an important note here. Whatever the answer is, ask this question from the no judgment zone. I always remind my clients, hey, no judgment zone, super important. Whatever the answer is that feels true for you right now, it might be true for you right now that the way you're approaching things does feel disempowering. Okay, noted. Observe it with compassion, understanding, and that allows you to move forward and create change from a place of power than criticism or judgment ever will. And so, if you want to do this work, if you want to not just lose weight, but lose the struggle, if you want to not just lose weight, but also heal your relationship with your body, heal your relationship with food, I want to invite you to come and join me inside the Last 10. The Last 10 is my coaching program where you get to come and work with me directly and have support. I think the best support, the best coaching that is holistic, empowered, of course. And it would be my honor to support you on this journey. It would absolutely be an honor. And if you love what I've been unpacking in this episode and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been wanting and needing. Or maybe you're listening, you're like, wow, I didn't even know this is what I needed. But as I'm hearing it, Brenda, as I'm hearing you talk about it, I can already feel something different. And I'm feeling like, oh, yes, this, I think this is the different thing that I maybe didn't even know. And now I know. And it feels right. Like I said, I want to invite you to come and join me inside of my coaching program, The Last 10. This is my 6-month signature coaching program. You do get to work with me directly, supporting you. We have the most brilliant community of women who want something different for themselves. And I always love to say it's something different, it's something better, because we as women deserve way better. And we've always deserved way better. And so I know we are in summer. I know for some, you may be thinking, oh, but it's the summer, it's the middle of summer. Is it too late? I promise you it is not too late. I actually think the summer is the perfect time. One of my favorite time of the year for creating powerful transformation is the summer. There's so much energy happening in nature. I mean, even the days are longer. And actually this summer, inside of the Last 10, we're doing something really special. I'm calling it the Summer of Freedom. And like I said, it is not too late. Come and join us, because I want you to imagine a summer where you are supported in your weight loss, but also supported in breaking free. This is why I'm calling it our Summer of Freedom, breaking free from anything, those things that no longer serve you, the loops that feel stuck, the old habits, sabotaging patterns, emotional eating patterns. Maybe it's stress eating. Maybe it's some nighttime eating habits, weight that just doesn't feel good on your body, outdated beliefs about who you're allowed to be, what you're allowed to experience, what kind of transformation and results that you are allowed to have. So come and join us, come and join me inside of the Last 10 and make this your Summer of Freedom. It's super easy to join. Go to brendalomelli.com. You'll go to the main menu. You'll easily be able to see the Last 10. There you can check out any of the details and then just get excited about joining. And as soon as you join, you get instant access. Once you join, once you complete your payment, you get instant access. So imagine you could be on a coaching call with me this week, experiencing new breakthroughs this week. All right, my sister, that is what I have for you today. And hey, if this episode lit a fire in you in the very best way, or helped you to have a really powerful aha moment, I want to ask you to please leave me a 5-star review. That would mean the world to me. You can also share this episode. You can also share this series on social media. Whether you decide to leave a 5-star review or share this episode or this series on social media, I really appreciate it. This really helps me to get the word out so that we can help women around the world reclaim their power in this area of their lives and stop struggling with their bodies, stop struggling with weight and food. Because as you know, this is about so much more than weight. It is about liberation. And so help me spread the word and the freedom. All right, my sister, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you here next time to talk about the next piece of this very important series. Talk to you soon.